everyone, welcome back to our kitchen. We are inside in the AC today because like most of the country, there is a heat wave and it is very hot outside.
It's awful.
We are still doing plenty of work in the parterre, but we thought we'd spend today inside in the AC getting our gardens ready for fall by doing some fall seed starting.
This is one of my favorite activities in the garden. I look forward to it every single year. I just love fall, and by the time we hit July, I am ready for some cooler temperatures. So here for us in the South, July 4th is a really great indicator to start your fall seeds. We're roughly 75 days from the official start of fall, and most fall seeds take about 60 to 90 days to get fully ready to be planted outside. So by the time these seeds are ready to go outside, we'll have those cool nights, and it'll be the perfect time to switch over the garden from summer to fall.
We do have lots of containers and new garden spaces. We have the parterre and our new window boxes out front. So we are super excited for fall planting this year, and we're going a little over the top.
Lots of opportunity this year that we didn't have last year for planting fall things. Of course, we want to encourage you guys to go out to your local nursery and support your local garden centers and buy things for fall, but it's also fun to grow things that maybe you can't find or maybe those special varieties, and it is really easy to start fall plants. So why don't we walk through some of the varieties we're going to be starting today, and then we'll get planting. So I might be a little fall obsessed and ordered all of these seeds at the end of April.
I do feel like that is the perfect time to order them though, because you know that all of the varieties you want are going to be available.
Exactly. And so I woke up one morning and I said, doop, 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 doop. Order.
In the cart. All right, what do we got?
Okay, so we have 5 varieties of viola that we are growing. Now, violas and pansies look very similar, but they have very different qualities. So pansies are gonna have those big, showy flowers, but they're not gonna have as many flowers. And so I like to use those in containers or somewhere where you're gonna see them up close and you really want that bold impact. Violas are gonna have much smaller flowers, but they will have a lot more of them. So we love using violas across the borders of gardens where they really just shine. At the end of last season, we had a variety called Floral Power Plum that was just so vibrant all the way up to when we pulled it out of the ground, and that is the kind of impact that I love to get from violas.
Yes, it just created this blanket of color, and that is really what we love about summer annual planting, is that we just get this really beautiful color at the border or wherever we put it, and these violas did so good in creating that sort of blanket of color, like I was saying, all through the winter, and they kind of like waned a little bit, and in the spring we cut them back and they came right back, and I just think that it is the most fun seeing this color all year long.
Okay, so let's talk about the 5 colors that we're going to be planting today. So we are, of course, planting the Floral Power Plum Antique. Now, this one was a showstopper for us all season long, and I would love to plant this one across the front of our house this year.
I hope we can get enough of them.
Yeah, let's hope so. This variety just has that beautiful wine color, and it really held that dark color all season long.
Yeah.
And it's just so bold out in the landscape. I mean, even in the middle of winter when there's like nothing in bloom, it was out there and it was beautiful. And I am crazy enough that I fertilize my violas weekly all through the winter.
Well, it really did pay off because we got that full blanket. One of the other reasons I love this color is because it sort of had this deep purple plum vein to it, and then maybe a brighter pink as it aged. So it really created some interesting color and texture in the garden.
Next up is Imperial Antique Shades. Now, this is a variety that we grew, I think, 3 years ago, and I've had trouble getting it since then because it hasn't been in stock on Johnny Seed. And I saw it in stock in April and I snagged it. It is a beautiful mix of white, yellow, a little bit of orange, a little bit of kind of like a soft red, but not like super bold. And I just love the mix of it all. When we planted them before, we did them all the way across our house, and we didn't really use kind of a planting scheme. We just kind of put them out there, and by the end of the season, it just kind of looked like confetti with all of the colors across.
It's really beautiful. I would say they're kind of like muted pinks and sort of creamy colors, and I think that really makes a great statement in the garden too.
It's really, really classy looking. Our third variety is called Penny Peach Jump Up. Now, I really like this one because it gives us that purple and white that you guys know Brian and I love, but it also has like a dot of orange. Typically, when we're choosing colors for our violas, we pick a lot of spring-looking colors because they last all season long. And of course, we want to see those fall colors out in the garden, but by the time we get to spring, you know, I really don't want to be looking at all burgundies and deep oranges and stuff.
Yep.
So I feel like this one is gonna be the perfect mix. Just got a little bit of orange on it, and it kind of reminds me of Halloween.
Yes, this will be really fun in containers at the front to go with whatever I do around the front entryway this year.
Ooh, I'm excited. The fourth variety is Sorbet Delft Blue. Now, I do love a blue viola, and there's not a ton of like strictly blue plants in the gardening world. A lot of times blue is really purple, and so I love it when we can actually get a flower that is blue, and I think this will make for a really nice pairing. And last is another mix called Sorbet Formula Mix. Now this one has a lot of dark purple, blue, I think there's some yellow in there. And again, this is probably another one where we're just not going to have any kind of rhyme or reason when we plant. We'll just put them out there and let the mix be what it is, and it'll just be beautiful all season long.
Yeah, I really love having the mix of colors in the garden for fall and spring because it just sort of creates this like coat of many colors look. So you get that sort of sparkling effect, but you also have the places that have just the sort of singular block of color, so you get that sort of mix both sides.
So I've bought enough seeds where we could have potentially 100 of each variety if they all take. That's a lot.
Yeah, I think they're all gonna take. We usually have pretty good luck with these.
So that's 500 holes we're gonna be digging. Are you up for that?
I'm up for that. They're little tiny holes. Okay, so if you guys are aware, last year I drove about 2 hours to find some very specific kales and really interesting different sort of fall vegetable plantings. We obviously don't plant them to eat them. We plant them for ornamentals just because they're so pretty. But last year I fell in love with this very specific crane that was sort of planted in threes. And so it was 3 kales that are these just very small ornamental kales that were planted all together, and they created this really beautiful architectural element to put in the garden around fall. They actually lasted fall, winter, and into spring, and they were so stunning. And so I thought this year it would be so fun to try to grow some of those on our own. So this year we have crane white, crane red, and crane pink, and I think that they are going to be so stunning if we can get them to come up together. Now, we were doing some research and figured out that you do have to plant 3 in a pot together, and so we'll probably start these as singles and then plant them up in a pot together, and then they'll just grow up and up and up and create that architectural element, and I think it will be really pretty.
I am interested to see how this works out because we have never grown any kind of kale or cabbage or anything from seed. And if we can make this work, I mean, we're gonna have these everywhere. They're gonna be all over the garden.
Yeah, do you think we're gonna start growing vegetables from now on?
Maybe so.
Okay, so the next thing that we have is Black Magic Kale. Now, if you guys remember from our tour last year, we had 2 of these really glorious Black Magic Kales planted in our planter box for our fall planting. They were honestly huge at the time of planting, so I imagine these are gonna grow pretty fast for us. They were also super architectural. They're that really, really dark, rich color, and the leaves of this kale have sort of like dimples in them, so it creates this really, really interesting texture and color, and I would love to pop a few of those in the planter box again, but then I would love to have some extras maybe to plant in our window boxes and in containers around the garden. So we are gonna plant these, and I think same thing. This is an experiment, so we're just gonna see how it goes, and if it goes well, we'll continue doing this every year. The last thing is Omero Red Cabbage, and this is one that I was looking for everywhere last year. It's literally just a dark red cabbage, almost purple in color. As you guys know, cabbage grows, it gets that really beautiful head that is perfectly round, and then it gets those beautiful leaves along the edges. And I just think around fall planting time, it is so nice to have a few of those popped into containers just as an architectural element. Just like the other kales that we are doing, the cabbage really looks beautiful because it adds that pop of color, but it's round where the other ones are a little bit different shapes. So I couldn't find it anywhere last year, so we found some seed and we're gonna grow it this year.
I'm excited to see how these kale and cabbage turn out because if this is successful, we might get a second seed starting shelf so we can do even more next year.
Oh my
Who
gosh.
said that?
Our whole house is gonna become a greenhouse.
All of the seeds that we're planting today are from Johnny Seeds, and I love buying from them because they have a really great variety of seeds. They also come with all of the planting information on the back of the seed packet, so there's never any question of how to care for your seeds. And they also tell you the germination rate, which I noticed one of these varieties of violas has a much lower germination rate than the others. So maybe we'll get lucky and we'll have higher for us, but just something to keep in mind as you're ordering your seed.
Okay, so our typical seed starting supplies here, we have our tags, which we got last year. These are a little bit better than the ones we had before. They're a little easier to write on, a little bit wider, and I found out that they actually fit inside of the Gardener Supply dome. So then we have the Gardener Supply seed starting trays. These are super easy. I know, as we've told you guys before, because they have the tray here, but then they also have a self-watering mechanism that you just have to fill up. That way you don't have to come back and water over and over and over.
We're also going to be using seed starting mix, which is really important for our seeds. It's a little bit of a loftier mix and won't be as heavy. When seeds are first germinating, those roots are really delicate. And so if you have a heavier soil, it might be harder for them to root in. And then the other thing that we like to top off our seedlings with is some crushed vermiculite. This just kind of helps aid in avoiding fungus and fungus gnats, and we have skipped that step before and it has not been pretty.
Yes. The only other thing that we typically use is our tray here for putting our seed starting mix in, and then we pre-moisten in this tray. We found that we can really easily put our seed starting trays in this and then just sort of fill them up with the dirt so we don't make a huge mess. Obviously, we're in our kitchen and not an actual greenhouse, so we like to keep the mess to a minimum.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we're ready to get started.
All right, Brian did all the dirty work by prepping all of the trays with our pre-moistened soil. So now I can start planting. So we're gonna start with the violas, and on the back of the seed packet, it says to just cover the seeds lightly. I don't think they need any light to germinate. So we're gonna be popping 2 seeds in each cell, and then we'll cover them lightly with a little bit of dirt, water them in, and then top them with vermiculite. And then we'll put the humidity dome on top, and we'll leave that there until we see little green leaves sprouting. Let's get planting. And just like that, we have 11 trays of fall seeds ready to go.
I'm so excited already. I can just smell the cinnamon dolce.
Oh yeah, pumpkin spice latte, is it too soon? So we have 10 trays of violas and 1 tray of assorted kale and cabbage.
Yep.
I think that's pretty good.
I think so.
So we're gonna get these onto their grow shelf, and even though they don't need the light yet, we're gonna go ahead and turn that on because the violas will probably start germinating here in the next few days, and as soon as those leaves come up, we want them to be ready to go under the lights. So we'll pop the humidity domes on top, and then we'll go ahead and fill up the basins with water, and I think that's it.
We do have a heat mat for the kales and the crane, just so that they can sort of bring up to temperature. I think the germination is 70 to 75 degrees on that.
Yep.
So we want to make sure that we support that so we actually get germination there.
Here in a few weeks, once we've got some good growth on these, we'll make sure to give you guys an update and show you all of the beautiful blooms once we plant them out in the garden in the fall.
All right. Be sure that you guys subscribe to our channel so you can get all of our gardening content all season long.
For now, from our garden to yours, we'll see you soon.
Bye, guys.